your utter, intelligent, innate recognition that what is happening is wrong, therefore illegitimate, therefore calling for correction, therefore calling for you to be willing to be the agent for correction, and hanging in there until the bee flies away, or the mouse gets up and scampers off, or Marion calls you and tells you, you won't believe what, oh yes I will, you won't believe what happened. It's gone into complete remission. Of course they say, that it could always come back, because she's still into the mutually agreed, but you see what I'm saying?
So the discomfort is the trigger.
The discomfort is your innate intelligence triggering you not to agree with what is happening. But that won't register with you if you are not wanting to feel, period. And that's where we're going to end at this moment and have a break. I want you just to be with that.
Thank you.
Okay. Hands. Right here.
Thank you, Raj. It's been years since I've been able to be with you, and I really appreciate being here. Because of that, I have a couple of things I wanted to ask, but in the Course in Miracles, which I'm devoted to, it talks about the things that I have created. And I know the difference between made and created. Made is temporary and created is eternal. But I can't think of anything that I have created. Can you give me just one example of something that I have created?
You could look at it this way. You have created a legacy of love for your husband. That is something that is eternal and will always be able to be seen and recognized. You think of love as intangible, but love is light, literally light. That's why this leaf, when you're seeing it with innocent eyes, innocent of your preconceptions about it, you will see that it's an idea. You will see that the nature of the idea is love, and that the love is illuminated. And so it will not look dark and dense to you. It will look like a light form. It will have color. It will emanate light. Now, the thing is, and the leaf is not the only thing. Absolutely every form that you see is the same. This light that is emanated from it is like a radiation that touches you, and you feel the love. You feel loved by each leaf, by every part of each leaf, by the whole plant. Not only that, in that experience of illumination, you recognize that it's the same love that you are. And so you experience your inseparability from it as a thing apparently at a distance from you, we'll say, while at the same time feeling utter unity with it, with no separation whatsoever, because the love that it is loving you with is the love that you are. And the love that you are is the love that it is loving you with. Because it's all the movement of the one and only cause there is, which is God. But God is not a divine principle, all-pervading principle of the universe that is unexperienceable. God is all you are experiencing at the moment. It's the only thing available. God is the only thing available to be experiencing. It's just that you've given the weirdest definitions to God, including that it's not God. So, your love for Him, your enduring love for Him, I'm not talking about when you got pissed off at Him, but your enduring love for Him, in spite of the fact that you get pissed off at Him, is, for lack of better words, a body of light, a manifestation of light that will forever be available to experience by you and by all of the brotherhood, and it will be known as your love for Him.
And that's my creation?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not the only creation there is, but that's one of them. There are things that all of you do in spite of yourselves that are innocent, pure expressions of your divine nature. And they are as eternal can be. And so, even in your ignorance, you have moments of incredible creativity. And usually, when those moments come, healing of some sort has occurred somewhere in your experience.
Like my cancer?
Yes, but also relative to others in your experience, where they are blessed and you may not even realize it. And the blessing, the instant of blessing, you might say, it is almost as though the light of it becomes solidified. I only mean that in the sense that it becomes eternal, permanent, forever available from that moment on. Sort of like chicken droppings through. Don't frown. In other words, the chicken isn't trying to do anything, but it does. And in the midst of your ongoing commitment to your ignorance, you still have moments where you do something without noticing it. And there in infinity suddenly appears something real. You will enjoy looking at your creations. And it's important for you to know that these blips of love, or these blips of beautiful creation, have come into being even while you think you're not even divine. It's good for you to know that, so that you might not take so seriously your confidence that you aren't divine, any more than that cancer is terminal. Because the more you are aware of that, the less you will defend your tininess. right here. Right here is where you're going, is where to wake up. Not off in the future. Not in heaven. It's in heaven. Right here is where to wake up. Right here is where you are being the ultimate of what you are, even though you're ignoring most of it and giving preference to your tiny ideas about everything and your very firm definitions that you hold to for dear life. But you've never stopped being the ultimate. You've never stopped being the Christ. You've never stopped being only the expression of God. Stop thinking about the ultimate being somewhere else at another time. Even time, as a seeming experience, is going on where? In the middle of the conscious awareness of being that you are. You're already the ultimate. The conscious awareness of being. That in which, that infinite, unboundaried conscious experience of being, in which all conscious experience / creation is going on and occurring. So there's no better place to wake up than here. There's no other place to wake up than in the place where your mind is being the conscious awareness of being, in which all of creation is happening. You see what I'm saying? So stop thinking about the future. Stop thinking about refining your soul for a few more lifetimes, and start being curious. Start paying attention. Start looking with new eyes. Start being curious beyond the status quo, so that the mole disappears or the bad eyesight yields to perfect vision, so that the mouse runs off of the driveway, so that 100,000 little, apparently inconsequential events that don't conform to the status quo begin to occur and confirm to you that life is not a terminal illness, and that nothing is matter. So that you come into a new, undistorted, conscious experience of being. You mentioned earlier about, as you have more of these kinds of experiences, that everybody's going down another path 180 degrees in the opposite direction. I'm going to express it this way. All of you are familiar with the word culture. Do you know what a cultured person is? A cultured person is someone who has been finessed into believing and behaving in certain ways and feeling certain ways. You might think that a cultured person is someone who's refined, but everyone is cultured, and Canadians are cultured differently from Americans. And Americans are cultured differently from those who live in the Middle East. You've all become what I'm going to call acculturated. You have all been molded into ways of looking at things. So you're all cultured, which means not one of you is original. Your originality has been cultured out of you so that you think and behave alike. You're cultured by your road signs. You know that no matter where you drive in this country, when you see an exit sign, or you may not have thought about this, you know how much further you have to drive before you get to the exit. And when you go to Canada, it's not the same distance and you become confused. Because the culture is different and you haven't become acculturated to Canadian culture. And so when you step out of your culture, you become confused. You're all cultured. The ego frame of reference is a culture. In waking up, I'm going to say, in coming into the unfettered, unlimited perspective that those of the Brotherhood who are awake are experiencing, you are moving into a new culture. You're not being suddenly transplanted to a new culture where you experience culture shock, because you are very careful to only let yourself move into this new culture by choice, and you do it very slowly. Not too many surprises too fast, please. Nevertheless, as you move into the new culture, you notice the differences between it and the old culture. And that's what you were describing. I want you to think about it this way so that you might more consciously choose to embrace the new culture and to explore the new culture with guidance. Because your guide is here to remind you of and help you be willing to once again re-embrace the culture of being awake, the culture of God, the culture of your being that never was altered in any way, even though you became accultured into a biased perspective of everything. Do you see what I'm saying? So I want you to think about it in these terms. Mind you, when you go into a different culture and you feel confused or you notice the difference, you can be assured that those in that culture can tell that you're a foreigner. The thing here is that those who are awake, as they see you arousing, as they see you becoming more conscious, they recognize the difference. The function of the Holy Spirit is to see the difference and help you let go of the difference. That's a demonstration of being willing to be an agent for change and engaging in hanging in there with someone while they become newly acculturated so that correction occurs. Those who are awake, who are standing with you and are your guides, see the difference. They just don't judge you for the difference. They see the difference, they see the gap between the way things are and the way you're perceiving them, and they work with you to close the gap so that there's less difference. And they do it because they are love, and because they are love and know it, they know they have nothing better to do than to be the presence of love with you that illuminates discrepancies so that you can see them and let go of them. So you are becoming acculturated, newly acculturated, as you are willing to withdraw your investment in your current way of perceiving things and invite, through the practice of curiosity, the truer experience, which comes as inspiration. It's beautiful the way it works, isn't it? There is an elegance to your return home, because your return home is occurring in an eternal state of elegance, the elegance of the movement of creation that God is being. And so your correction is accomplished, the correction of your illusions is accomplished in ways that are elegant. Why? Because in the process they do not harm you, and they uncover to you with love, not malice, not frustration, not impatience, the elegance of you. You don't need to be afraid of losing control and allowing for the miracle, the sudden shift of perception in you. Because all it will do will be to uncover elegantly the elegance of you that you never lost. Even though you thought you had a ball making things up. In spite of yourselves, you are wonderful, and I love you. You have been more wonderful to be with than you think. Even you, Christopher. And I look forward to being with you again at some time. Thank you.
Thank you. Is this a holy instant?
It is.